So I'm going to get us started here. Annabelle, you can just click into the next slide. Before we get into it, just a quick disclaimer so that we can stay on the good side of our legal team. We are going to spend most of the time today talking about things that already exist, that are available to all of you and already exist in Help Desk. But if we do touch on anything forward-looking, just a quick reminder that our roadmap is, of course, subject to change. Awesome. So we have a few folks with us today. My name is Rose. I've been a product manager at HubSpot for just over 3 years, and I've worked on Service Hub that whole time with a large focus on Help Desk. And I'm joined by two of my colleagues, Annabelle and Smriti, whose teams also work on various parts of Help Desk. We're going to start off today by doing a quick overview of what Help Desk is, why we built it, and how it changes the game for support teams using HubSpot. So if you're not familiar with Help Desk at all, no worries, we're going to cover all of that. I'll then pass it over to my colleagues to chat about how you and your team can begin using Help Desk, which is what we'll spend most of our time on today. We know that change management is really difficult, so we want to provide you with some guidance and best practices for getting set up in Help Desk, especially if you're already using the inbox or tickets or a combination of both to manage your support processes. And then we'll leave a bunch of time at the end for questions and wrap it up with Q&A. So let's start with a poll, some audience engagement. Go ahead and type the letter that corresponds with your answer into the chat in terms of how familiar you are with Help Desk. B's, lots of B's and C's. Okay, cool, awesome, perfect. Some A's. All right, lots of B's and C's. That's great. So for those of you who answered B or C, like I said, we're going to go ahead and do an overview of Help Desk. So we'll definitely give you all of that high level context. But I did want to take a quick detour for those of you who joined the Admin HUG last year or are super familiar with Help Desk. Just wanted to take a quick detour to highlight some of the many things that have changed since we last showcased Help Desk in June of 2023 in Admin HUG. There have been so many improvements, from new channels like calling and WhatsApp to brand new features like skill-based routing and advanced SLAs. It's truly an entirely different and much more mature product, largely thanks to your feedback and customer feedback. I think last June we were just about to enter a closed beta, so we're in a totally different spot. We're really excited to be chatting about it again. And if you joined us last time, I promise if you stick around, there's definitely some new content and new stuff for you to see. All right, so jumping back into an overview of Help Desk and starting really high level actually with kind of Service Hub overall. Service Hub is really focused on two pillars, which might sound familiar if you checked out any of our Spring Spotlight content last week. The first pillar is scaling support. This is really about helping teams manage an ever-increasing volume of tickets without having to scale headcount. Help Desk is a huge part of this. It's designed to provide teams with all the tools they need to provide empathetic support at scale and as efficiently as possible. The second pillar we won't get into as much today is really around driving retention. This is a newer area of investment for Service Hub, and we're super excited about how tools like the Customer Success Workspace will help businesses close the flywheel by turning customers into promoters. Again, not really going to chat about this today, but keep an eye out. There's a lot of great stuff coming here. So zooming a bit more into Help Desk specifically, I think it's helpful to ground ourselves in what functionality was available for customer support teams using HubSpot before the existence of Help Desk. So if you are managing customer support out of HubSpot today, chances are you are using either the inbox or tickets or both. The inbox is a inbox style interface with where the primary object is conversations. Teams can connect a variety of channels to the inbox and then manage and respond to conversations over those channels. It's real time, and it also contains features like SLAs and agent presence to help boost efficiency. Tickets lives in another area of HubSpot, and it consists of a list style index page, a Kanban board view, and a record page, and the primary object here is tickets. Tickets are a first class HubSpot object in the CRM, and they can easily be leveraged in workflows and reporting. So the relationship between these two tools and objects can be a bit confusing. And neither on its own is really a full solution. So, for example, if you're primarily working out of tickets, you'll find it difficult to manage chat without using the conversation inbox. And if you're mostly using the inbox, you might be missing out on advanced filtering and reporting. So, especially our scaling and operationally minded customers have expressed to us that to drive more agent efficiency and effectiveness, they really need a single place that combines the best of both of these tools. And that's exactly what we're trying to address with Help Desk, bringing the best of inbox and tickets together so that you don't have to choose between them or constantly navigate the complexities of having these kind of different but similar tools. Our vision for Help Desk is to build a true home base for support teams in HubSpot that centralizes key functionality and enables agents to provide efficient and empathetic support at scale. Kind of looking at this another way, Help Desk really addresses two major pain points. First off, we hear a lot of feedback from customers, maybe some of you on this call, that tickets and conversations can be tough to navigate. So, for example, a lot of customers have told us how difficult it is to keep ticket owner and ticket status in sync with conversation owner and conversation status. We want to simplify that model so you only have to think about updating these key properties once. We also want to create a single source of truth by centering Help Desk around the ticket object to enable you to more easily set up workflows and reports. We've heard from managers and admins in particular that when setting up a new workflow or a report, it's not obvious whether you should use the conversation or use the ticket, and we want that to be a lot more intuitive. So, just in general, we know there's a lot of overhead with both admins and agents trying to understand the system and keep it clean. We want to relieve that burden so that you can spend your time and spend your energy elsewhere, like on servicing your customers. And then the second pain point is all about centralizing functionality. The inbox contains chat functionality, SLAs, channel switching, agent presence, real time. It's designed for efficiently replying and resolving customer issues. On the other hand, tickets contains more advanced views and sorting features, a better interface for viewing things at a glance, more customization options. So both workspaces contain really powerful tools, and teams shouldn't have to choose between them or lose efficiency by jumping back and forth. Um, yeah, so with Help Desk, we're trading in the existing ticket and conversation confusion for a seamless and simplified framework. And then we'll also be consolidating key support functionality under one roof. And hopefully the video loads. Yeah, awesome. So addressing all of these pain points leads us to a workspace that looks more or less like this, with all the best features from inbox and tickets and then some. Help Desk is armed with all the tools your team needs, from omni-channel capabilities and advanced routing automation to custom views and AI-powered tools to help scale support without scaling headcount. Plus, Help Desk is built on the HubSpot CRM, giving support agents valuable customer context and 360-degree intelligence right at their fingertips. Awesome. So now that I've hopefully sold you on how great Help Desk is for your team, I'm going to pass it off to Annabelle to chat more tactically about how you can begin using it.
Hello, everyone. My name's Annabelle. Today, I want to tell you about optimizing your ticket management process with the Help Desk. And I'll walk you through how our seamless ticket generation and management capabilities can help you and your service team easily handle customer issues. But one key takeaway that I want you to leave with today is that generating tickets is really effortless in the Help Desk. And I'm going to demonstrate how you can do this again in just a few clicks. We've loaded up the Help Desk with powerful tools and make managing tickets a breeze. So helping you resolve issues quickly and keep your customers happy. So let's delve into ticket generation, which is a crucial element in service management. Why does it matter? Well, tickets form the backbone of issue resolution, giving agents the power to effectively address those customer concerns. So the quickest way to kick off ticket generation in the Help Desk, again, is by connecting a channel. Let's look at various methods of generating tickets in the Help Desk. You can create tickets manually. You can connect channels for seamless integration, just like I mentioned. Additionally, there's an option of migration, which transitions existing channels and conversations from the inbox to the Help Desk. And one key highlight that I want to make today is about our omni-channel capability. We all know customers contact you where and when they prefer. With our Help Desk, you can meet their expectations by supporting them on any messaging channel. Migration might be especially relevant to many of you, particularly if you're currently using the inbox feature. So I'll demonstrate a walkthrough and show you how this process unfolds. Let me switch up here very quickly. All right, so we've simplified the migration process. Again, this is going to be pretty quick and easy. So first you clicked on Connect to Channel, where you're going to be presented with either the choice to connect a new channel or migrate one from the inbox. And I want to pause here to note that channels cannot simultaneously exist and create tickets in both the inbox and the help desk. They need to be linked to one or the other. And this is crucial for effective ticket management. So now let's overview the process of moving a channel and its related conversations. You choose the inbox. In this scenario, we only have the chat flow channels to move. I've made a bot that I want, a ticket bot that I want to move into the help desk. And here we are presented with the option of moving conversations. When migrating a channel, you have this option. And although it's not mandatory, we do recommend moving the conversations as a best practice. So in the future, you'll have historical reference. You can choose the pipeline, and then the current conversation statuses can either change or stay the same in the new ticket status. For this purpose, we'll make them the same, move channels. It was pretty fast, right? So by migrating a channel, it will soon start generating tickets in the help desk within a few minutes. With that covered, I want to talk about ticket defaults. So this ticket default tab applies to the settings to all the tickets in the help desk. But you may ask, what if you need specific defaults for particular channels? I'll demonstrate that in a moment. But I want you to remember that the defaults in this tab act as a baseline unless specified in channel settings. All right, let's take a look at what you can do by channel. So we will do this email, edit. Under the automation tab, you have set ticket properties for this channel. The ticket defaults feature empowers you to customize ticket properties like pipeline, status, priority, and source. And these enhancements ensure your agents have essential ticket detail at hand, promoting efficient resolution. Fantastic. So we've covered connecting a channel, generating tickets, and each ticket now includes all the crucial details to provide your agents. So what's next? Let's talk a little bit more through the presentation. So let's explore the realm of ticket management and discover the role of pipelines in our help desk operations. Rather than viewing pipelines as a mere tools for access, consider them as dynamic pathways that navigate tickets through different stages, aligning with your team's process. Pipelines in the inbox were utilized slightly different, with one notable distinction being that the ability to restrict pipeline access. While they are a powerful tool, it's important to note that they are not intended to serve as a means of restriction in the help desk, because in the help desk, we regulate visibility using ticket permissions. So pipelines are designed to mirror the ticket lifecycle, aiding agents in efficiently resolving problems. So picture a general pipeline in this scenario with stages like new, waiting on customer, and resolved. When these stages are clearly laid out in the pipelines, we improve how tickets move through the system, making the operations more efficient. So far, we've covered channel connection for ticket generation. We've explored fine-tuning ticket defaults and implementing ticket rules specific to channels. We've also covered the effective utilization of pipelines in the help desk. So these are part of a strategic approach for better customization, precise ticket management, and meeting various customer needs. Again, we're trying to streamline the support process. But let's now shift our focus to more effective ticket management. SLAs are crucial for helping your service team meet KPIs and align with your customers' expectations. While available in the inbox, we've made significant improvements to SLA functionality in the help desk. So I want to talk about it. While SLAs were useful in the inbox, they are basic and they did lack detailed granularity as they apply universally to all the tickets in the inbox. On the contrary, SLAs in the help desk have undergone enhancements, introducing new features like time to next reply metrics and customizable SLAs based on various ticket properties like source, team, or pipeline, in addition to priority. A significant improvement is the ability to apply an SLA on all the tickets, including those created manually, which is not available in the inbox. So these enhancements offer increased granularity and empower your teams to provide prompt resolution and exceptional service. So I want to wrap up the SLA discussion, but I want to highlight how setting SLAs is just the beginning of the journey towards enhancing service level agreements. Once your SLAs are established, your service reps will have access to visual indicators that not only prompt them to take immediate action, but also valuable insights into meeting customer expectations effectively. So we are committed to continuous improvements, and over the next year, we have exciting plans to introduce further functionality to the SLA to SLAs and offer that greater granularity of SLAs in the help desk. So stay tuned for more developments on that. And finally, I don't want to forget about the routing tools. So this handy feature allows you to establish precise routing strategies because you want to ensure that urgent matters are given top priority and that each agent receives the right ticket. Plus, our enterprise customers, there's the added benefit of skill-based routing. So that enables even more tailored assignment of a ticket based on agent experience. So we've covered essential aspects of optimizing ticket management within the help desk, from exploring seamless ticket generation to understanding the significance of SLAs. We've equipped you with tools for efficient issue resolution. So I want to summarize a few things. One, initiating ticket generation is as simple as a few clicks. Setting tailored ticket defaults is pretty easy. Use the pipelines to guide tickets efficiently through the stages, and implement granular SLAs for actionable issue resolution. We've gone through a lot about ticket management, but don't worry, we've got a detailed user guide that walks you through all these tasks and beyond. This is going to make it super easy for you to make the most out of the help desk. So this guide is already provided to all new users joining the help desk, and we're working on making it more easily accessible to every user very soon. So with these upgrades, we truly believe that the help desk is going to take your service game up to the next level. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to Smriti.
All right. Thank you, Annabelle. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Can everyone see my screen okay?
Yep.
You're good. Awesome. All right. Well, hi, everyone. I'm Smriti, and I'm going to talk to you about team organization in the help desk. Efficient team organization is crucial for a multitude of reasons, including keeping agents focused, accurate ticket routing, and efficient collaboration. And the goal of these next few sections is to arm you with the information that you need to organize your support team in order to achieve all of this and ultimately give your customers the timely resolution that they deserve. So in these next few slides, I will touch on the key differences between support team segmentation in Inbox and Help Desk. I'll review our kit of segmentation tools available today in Help Desk. I'll describe how all of it comes together in the unified workspace, and then together we'll talk through an example for how these tools can be applied to your support team. All right. So let's start by stating the obvious. If you're an existing HubSpot customer using the Conversations inbox for ticket management, you've definitely noticed that a key difference between Inbox and Help Desk is that Help Desk does not have the concept of multiple inboxes. And you might ask, why did we deviate from this segmented inbox model? And the big reason is that inboxes can be extremely siloing, leading to issues such as lack of visibility between teams, ticket duplication, and generally a lot of administrative overhead. And we've actually heard this feedback a lot, especially from scaling businesses who feel very limited by this model. So we on Help Desk, we believe that we can do better. And our vision is that we can streamline this entire organization model by giving your support teams a unified space paired with a configuration toolkit that allows you to segment and customize the workspace to your own needs in a way that Inbox wouldn't be able to offer. So I'm going to jump into a breakdown of this toolkit, and don't worry, in the next couple of slides, I'll show you how it all comes together. Firstly, HubSpot teams. Grouping your users into HubSpot teams is really the bedrock of the organization model. So super, super important. By grouping your support team members into HubSpot teams, you ensure that each team handles tickets relevant to their own expertise. And you also ensure that teams can take advantage of team-based views, which is another set of tools that I'll get to momentarily. Next is channel routing. In Help Desk, you can automatically route tickets from channels to specific users and teams to ensure that tickets go where they're supposed to go. And if a ticket is routed to a team where no one's available, don't worry, because tickets will be assigned to that team still and still be viewable, and I'll show you how. Additionally, if you're on an enterprise account, you can take advantage of skills-based routing for super granular routing and improved response times. Next set of tools are views. So Help Desk comes with built-in views like My Teams Opened, My Teams Unassigned, My Mentions to help teams hit the ground running and get access to relevant tickets faster. For example, in that scenario I mentioned where a ticket got automatically routed to a team and no one was available, that ticket would still be viewable via My Teams Unassigned. Help Desk also comes with the ability to create and share private team views so that teams only see what is relevant to them. And pro tip is to double check that your users have the right level of ticket permissions so that they're either able to see or not see tickets in these views. And finally, customizations. You can currently customize the information in the ticket list and the CRM sidebar to tailor the information in the workspace to the logged in user. You can also leverage the saved filters at the top of the views to completely filter out unwanted tickets. A primary example of where we recommend doing this is if pipelines are incorporated in your team's processes. Pipelines at HubSpot are process containers that allow you to track a ticket across its various stages. So you can lean on the pipeline and ticket status filters to do this tracking. Or additionally, if you don't care to see tickets from certain pipelines, you can set and forget the pipeline filter to completely weed out those tickets from views. And as a result, your support team can stay focused on the tickets that are most relevant to them. So all of this said, I will say that we are heavily investing in help desk customizations in 2024. So all of this is really just the tip of the iceberg, and you can expect a whole lot more. So this list will grow, and stay tuned. And so just to summarize this slide, kind of reaching into the toolkit whenever you want to set up and organize your support team, you connect your ticket channels, you set up channel routing to get tickets to the right users and teams, you lean on views to see the tickets and to also surface sets of tickets to specific teams, and you leverage the customizations to tailor the informations to give teams the right context that they need to be efficient. And all of this comes together to help teams coexist in Help Desk without collision or distraction. So how do you actually apply this model and tools to your own support team? Let's talk about a specific use case. For this use case, we have two support teams. We have Team A, who is a general support team, and Team B, who is a specialized support team. The general support team, Team A, has its own connected channel that looks like a hello@company.com domain through which customers email in support tickets. This general support team is responsible for a few things. They're responsible for being the first line of support. They're responsible for resolving tickets, and they're responsible for reassigning tickets out to other teams in the event that they themselves cannot solve the ticket. The billing team, Team B, on the other hand, is a specialized support team specialized in billing. They too have a connected channel through which tickets are sent. It's called billingsupport@company.com. And they also take on tickets that are assigned to them from the general support team. So how do these two teams, Teams A and Teams B, who have their own distinct charters, coexist in a single workspace without colliding into each other, yet being able to efficiently collaborate? So we are going to dig into our toolkit. And first, we're going to group these users into HubSpot teams. So we're going to have one team for the general support team and another team for the billing team. This again ensures that each team handles tickets relevant to their own expertise. Next, we are going to set up the channel routing. So in this case, we're sending all tickets from hello@company.com to the general support team and all tickets from billing@company.com to the billing team. Step 3, we're going to encourage the teams to take advantage of views so they can leverage the team-based views, My Teams Opened and My Teams Unassigned, and they can even use My Mentions, which reflect the list of tickets that they as individual users are mentioned in. We also encourage creating private and team-based views so that the teams can totally eradicate the noise of irrelevant views appearing for each team. So you'll see here on the right-hand side of this slide, we have each team has created their own set of shared views, but the general support team will not see the billing team's custom views, and the billing team will not see the general support team's custom views. So each view is completely kind of tailored and focused to the team itself. And lastly, we're going to encourage the teams to leverage customizations to tailor the workspace. So the teams can edit the columns of the lists to make sure the information is relevant for their portal. They can rearrange the columns to actually sequence that information at the user level. They can apply filters to completely weed out tickets from irrelevant statuses or pipelines. And they can also configure the help desk sidebar to give teams tailored and key contextual information. And how all of this comes together is that the workspace will be specific to the team. So I'm going to jump out of the deck here and jump into help desk. And this is the view of the help desk that I would see if I was on the billing team. So I'm logged in as a billing team user. Here you'll see my team's unassigned and my team's open, team-based views. They're reflecting billing team views. You'll also see billing team custom views here. The only reason I'm seeing general support team views here is because I was the creator of these views. But in theory, if I had billing support team members, they would not be seeing these custom views. So that's the view of help desk as a billing team member. If I were to switch over into the general support team, I'm going to kick myself off of the billing team. Sorry, billing team. And add myself as a general support team member. And then go back into the help desk. I would now see general support team tickets in my team-based views, and I would be seeing general support team custom views. So, as a result, each team, by leveraging teams, views, and customizations, both teams can operate autonomously while still having room for collaboration. All right, I'm going to jump back into the slide. And last slide of this presentation before we get into Q&A. So I know we just kind of tackled a lot from setup to organization. So this is sort of a summary of what you need to do to get your teams working out of the help desk, from setup that Annabelle talked about to organization. Feel free to take a screenshot if you want to take this away with you, and we'll also make sure to incorporate this into our knowledge base going forward. All right, questions?
Love it. Thank you so much. So if we can all hop over to the Q&A section. There are a lot of questions in there already. A lot of them have already been answered. This is a crack team. They're on top of it. So if you put some questions in there, make sure you scroll through and see if they've already been answered. Pretty cool. But while you're scrolling through, upvote any that you'd like us to respond to. We're going to work most popular to least popular in the time we have. So I'll just give a minute for the voting to come through.
And I'll add a little bit to that. If you've asked a question in the chat and it hasn't been answered, please go ahead and put that over in the Q&A so that Kyle makes sure he gets to it.
Yeah, we got a lot of good questions in the chat. But one thing about Bevy is chat and QA inhabit the same quadrant. And so you can't view both at the same time. So I'm now over in Q&A. I'm going to miss everything happening in the chat. If you have questions, make sure drop them in the Q&A. All right, I'm going to go ahead and sort these by most voted. And the most voted ones have already been answered. Love it. Scrolling down a bit, Derry asks, what happens if you're a member of several different teams in HubSpot?
So if you're a member of several different teams in HubSpot, so for this organization model, we are very much centered on primary team. So if you're, you can only be a member of a main team member of one team in HubSpot. So your team-based views would reflect the tickets that are assigned to your main team.
Love it. Makes sense to me. Scott asks, any plans for use cases which require higher data security? And in parentheses is HIPAA, GLBA, NPI. This is, I don't know what all those acronyms name. I have heard of HIPAA. I don't know if that's, I don't know. Do you have
I can speak to this one. We might have to follow up on this. I've been chatting a bit offline with some team members that would be more involved in the change to support this. So we've definitely heard this feedback before around HIPAA and other kind of compliance needs when it comes to data sensitivity, but I don't know the current roadmap, so we can follow up.
Rochelle asks, if you work in the tickets pipeline view and have automations, will these carry over to help desk?
Yes, pretty much. I don't know, Annabelle, if you have anything else to add.
Yeah, we have intentionally provided that pathway because we know customers use um, automation. So it should pipe in. If there's any questions, feel free to reach out. But yes, that's a design.
Great. Love it. Simon asks, is there going to be further development in the merge function of support tickets? I've noticed often when merging two tickets, notes and comments from one disappear instead of just joining the two together.
I think Rose, were you going to answer that?
Go ahead.
So we are there's that we're probably going to need to follow up a little bit on like how the merging works. But one thing that's coming through it later this year is giving only certain people the ability to merge tickets and what that looks like. So we are starting to look at how to handle that gracefully.
Great. Another one on the topic of comments and notes. Are comments on help desk and notes on tickets going to be linked at some point?
Yeah, someone also mentioned this in the chat, and I think we responded there. This is a great one. It's been a really hot topic. There's already some community forum posts on it. So this is very much something that we're thinking about. I've been working with the designer on my team on some new concepts. So this is definitely an area we're thinking about streamlining and just kind of the collaboration experience in general. So stay tuned there.
Cool. Love it. Jesse asks, can you speak about the difference between access and permissions provided by main team versus extra teams? We have agents that cross over to other teams. For example, a warranty agent that also works on tech support tickets. I don't know if there's more to say. We already talked about multiple teams, but
I can chime in here a little bit. So this is where ticket permissions can work really elegant for this. So if you have like a generalist, they would have access to all the tickets in the help desk. So you could set, view, edit, delete access across across all the tickets. That allows somebody to go through and be able to view and respond to tickets if needed. So that's like a generalist role. So really thinking about how to leverage a ticket permission to transcend a little bit more across the team is really the way to think about it.
Cool. Let's see. When do you plan to add in more advanced SLA properties? Example, initial response, communication frequency, restoration goal, resolution goals, and have the option to add SLAs that are either 24/7 or 9 to 5, Monday to Friday.
Yeah, so right now you can do SLAs 24/7 or working hours. We have a lot of enhancements coming for SLAs. It's one of the things that we've invested into scaling, and so we'll be able to tease that you can use conditional statements to set multiple SLAs. We'll extend to all the ticket properties eventually, and then we are really thinking about how to support global teams that have different time zones. So that's all things that we are currently building and solving for.
Great. We have some duplicate questions here, so I'm just reading through. Yep.
There's another merge question.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, when you merge two tickets in the help desk, we preserve both of if there are conversations on both of them, we preserve both of those. And you'll see a drop down in kind of the upper right corner that will allow you to switch between both of the conversations. So you won't lose that history. We aren't like stitching the conversation threads together because that would also be a little bit weird if you've been talking to different people. But they are both accessible and you can switch between them on what is now your like newly merged ticket.
Great. Thank you for that. There's a question here about moving to help desk from other providers, say Zendesk or Salesforce or other tools. Do I need to migrate all tickets and then set up help desk using the migration steps shown here?
So the migration steps I showed here was specifically for inbox to the help desk. So if you're already using the inbox tool, there's already ways to import tickets. I think one of them is like through a CSV file, for example. That way, if you're coming from a different tool, if you will. So that's just a different path, but you could still do it. You wouldn't have to set it up in the inbox and then move it to the help desk.
Great.
Yeah, imported tickets will show up in help desk. There's no extra step there.
Let's see here. How about one problem we have always had with using a team inbox and now help desk is that we often have HubSpot alerts, email notifications that aren't inherently one team member's responsibility, just first come, first served. So we just send them to the team inbox, like support at whatever. So the first person who's able to jump on it can just take it. However, sending HubSpot alerts to a HubSpot managed team inbox clogs it up with notifications, creates a contact for no reply at HubSpot.com address every time, etc. How do we ensure reminders, follow-up nudges, etc. make it to the team if we don't want that to happen moving forward? What do others do? That's a fun infinite loop kind of question.
Yeah, I can take that one. So to tell you the truth, notifications isn't something that we're currently thinking a lot about right now, actually, but this is a really, really good call out and something that we will pass on to the rest of our team and can maybe circle back on.
Great. I'm curious. There's a lot of questions still, and we can just keep plowing through. I'm skipping over all the ones that were answered asynchronously, and I wonder if that's actually a disadvantage to the group as a whole.
I was gonna say there's one theme that came up in a couple that I answered async, which is is help desk replacing inbox. So you will not lose access to inbox as a result of using help desk. And I think in a couple of the examples, the specific situation, which is totally a situation like we envision happening, is that your sales team is still working out of the inbox to maybe manage leads or just kind of like generic outreach while your support team moves into help desk. So that's totally possible. You're not going to lose access to inbox. You can't, like Annabelle mentioned, have a single channel that's pushing things to both workspaces, but you could have like your sales at company.com connected to inbox while support at company.com moves over to help desk. So there were a few questions about that, just to reiterate.
Great. That's really helpful. Thank you. Okay. Brady asks, can you speak to how threading works within ticketing? A general overview as well as any known challenges today would be great.
Yeah, this is kind of a big topic, so definitely feel free to reach out to us. We will have the email at the next slide if there's like specific questions. But it's pretty similar to kind of like email threading, just sort of back and forth between the customer and the agent. I guess like the biggest difference between kind of what you'd expect from like an email thread or a text message thread versus help desk is you can switch to different channels within the same thread. So if someone reaches out over chat and you've been going back and forth via chat, but then you need to follow up the next day via email, you can actually within the same thread switch over to email, and we're going to preserve that all within the same thread history rather than having those be separate. But if you have specific questions, definitely feel free to reach out. It's kind of a can of worms, so don't want to get too in the weeds.
Great. No, that was a great answer. I'm not fully understanding why tickets can't be fed into both tickets and help desk since both views are useful. I'm surprised it requires a migration for something internal.
So tickets do show up in tickets and help desk at the same time. It's just not inbox and help desk. And the reason for that, without getting super technical, is that tickets do behave a little bit differently depending on whether they're in the inbox or whether they're in help desk. For example, permissions and access, those models are slightly different in the inbox versus what we are moving towards in help desk. And so it's really starts to get really gnarly if like the same ticket is in both places at the same time. We don't know which permissions to respect. We don't know kind of which model to follow, which is why an object cannot be in both inbox and help desk at the same time. When it comes to the ticket interface, so like the board page, the list page, the record pages, any tickets in help desk will also show up in the ticket interface. So you should be able to access the same data in both of those places.
Cool. That makes sense because the ticket is kind of the backbone of it regardless. All right. Carly asks, we have solved for 1, a ticket being assigned to an available user. 2, the available user then goes offline. 3, the person who sent in the ticket responds to the ticket while the user is offline. Currently, the alert goes to the offline user instead of alerting another online user. So is there a way, if someone goes offline mid-conversation, to have that rerouted to someone else, I think is the question.
Like a next available rep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this is probably feedback for our routing team. So we can definitely pass this along. This doesn't fall into like the domain of anybody on this call, but I think it's totally valid. We've definitely heard some feedback around kind of offline behavior and agent availability. So I know that's something the team is thinking about. We can pass this along.
I've been skipping over a lot of these, asking about people on multiple teams, because I know we've already answered that a couple different ways. But there's so many, I figure maybe I'll just ask you one more time. If does help desk work only with primary team, or will someone assigned to multiple teams be able to see the tickets for all the teams they are a member of?
So if you're the main team member of a team, then you will see your tickets in the team-based views. However, if you do want to get to tickets from your other teams, you can leverage the HubSpot team quick filter at the top of the list view to get to those tickets.
Got it.
I will add as well, if your secondary teams or extra teams, as we call them, if your teammates want to give you visibility to those tickets, they can also create private team views for those extra teams, and you can get to tickets that way.
Got it. More questions about teams. I think we've got it covered. I think these must have just all come in independently at the same time. Can we get a way to move from one ticket to the next ticket without having to go back to the center so we can move at speed?
This is also on our radar. We have heard, I think Zendesk has a feature like this kind of general concept of like a focus mode. So you're not having to, once you answer, you don't have to click into the next ticket. It's just automatically getting surfaced. So I don't have a timeline, unfortunately, but I know it is on the radar for sure.
Great. Paul asks, can you route a ticket based on the company to specific individual? So I think if a company is owned by a particular person, can we just have all the tickets from that company be routed to that person? Another routing question.
Yes. You should be able to route based on contact owner. That's actually like a default setting that we have for routing. So I know that's not company owner, but it's contact owner. Frequently those things go together. And then if that default routing doesn't work for you or isn't quite what you want, I do believe you could get there through skill-based routing as well.
Cool. And I believe there's a setting that syncs contact owner to company owner. So it might be a series of a couple of different settings, but it seems like this is possible. Is it possible now to route or auto-assign a ticket to a team as opposed to a specific team member?
Yes, so you can route tickets to specific users and teams. So you can kind of choose from the drop-down in the automation tab.
Amazing. From the help desk view, it is impossible to see if there are other tickets open for the customer. Will you add that on the side view from help desk?
Yeah, this was added recently. So we do have a card in the sidebar now that, it wasn't added recently. It is on the way. I'm getting my wires crossed, but we have it in development. I have seen the in progress design. So we are adding a card on the sidebar that will show other tickets that are associated to the main contact on the conversation.
Amazing.
I don't know, Smriti, if you had anything else related to that.
Okay.
Great. Seeing yet another question about primary teams and extra teams. So just to call out, we should document this really well somewhere because this seems to be top of mind for a lot of people. Let's see. These have all been answered. People want to know if they can have your slides. We'll be sharing the recording. Are you able to share the slides also? It's okay if for some reason you can't. But
We'll double check, but if we can, we will.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll follow up with you on that on Slack. But everyone, the recording will be shared. You'll be getting that sometime in like the next 24 hours. So you'll definitely be able to review the content. We will probably take our cues from the legal team before we share a slide deck. Okay, so we're down to questions that have either 1 or 0 upvotes. So, oh wait, here's one down at the bottom that has 9. What happened to my sorting? Okay, this will be our last one, and then we'll move on to how people can contact you. What are the use cases that you don't consider a good idea to switch from inbox to help desk, and why? Or is it just for everyone?
I'm curious what Annabelle and Smriti think. I don't think there's too many. I think the one that we're most aware of is kind of business units because of the structure of the multiple inboxes, which we don't have modeled quite the same way in help desk. So that's something that we're thinking about.
Yeah. I was going to +1 that. So multiple business units is something that we really do want to solve. So we're talking about it. We're starting to write up docs about it. We're collecting requirements about it. So that said, we definitely want to learn from customers who have these needs to kind of help inform our strategy there. So please get in touch with us if you have insights on any of this stuff, or if you have a team who has this requirement. Also, I wanted to just add, if you need separation because of compliance reasons, that's something that we'd love to learn more about how to support. So yeah, if you have feedback, we have an email address where you can submit feedback or just like request a meeting with the product team, helpdeskfeedback@hubspot.com.
Love that. That's great. I love that exists. Sorry, one last question sneaking in here. I feel like I should know the answer to this one. Don't. Is there an overview video on how help desk works? I'd like to show it to our team before we switch over. Do you know, is there Academy video or anything like that for help desk?
We do have an intro video that's actually going to be shown to users when they first log into the help desk, so you can use that. I also encourage you to use the user guide. You can do some tests, like you could do a test email and play around with it. I think going through it is gonna really help. But yeah, I think we do have a very high level overview of the help desk that we show.
Great.
The Academy content is also being updated. I actually believe that went out last week, but I can double check on that. But the Academy content is getting an update as well.
Great. Amazing. Thank you all so much. This has been wonderful. Thank you everyone for coming. I've really enjoyed the conversation, the questions here. Definitely jot down this email address if you want to send any feedback or questions. We will be sending the recording out a little bit later. Rose, Annabelle, Smriti, sorry. Thanks so much for being here. Any last thoughts before we shut it down? All good. All right. Well,
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you for coming. This is great. Thanks again, everyone, for being here. This has been another meeting of the HubSpot Admin HUG, and hope to see you all back next week.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for having us. Bye.